I'm trying to actually just do like a part one, and then we'll
Yeah,
snip
you have
it.
to ask the question though.
Okay. So I had a little bit, kind of, couple more questions about
Yeah.
the kind of vocabulary you guys use in the streets.
Well, John, it's not what I use. You understand?
I
Okay.
understand. No, I understand.
yeah.
Yeah, but gangbanging was one of them. I didn't understand the definition.
Well, John, use it in a sentence because there's well, actually, no, don't use it in a sentence. There's two meanings actually. Meaning one is a term used to describe a ritual in which young males, group of them, a gang, they in unison, one after the other, they will have intercourse with a female.
Oh my goodness.
She could be looking to join the gang.
Multiple partners?
Oh yes.
At once? In one
Sometimes
setting?
as many as 14 to 15. Sometimes one of the other rituals they'll do is roll the dice.
Roll
and
the
then,
dice?
Well, they'll have her roll the dice, and whatever number comes up.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
No, it gets brutal.
Yes.
It gets crazy, but they'll roll the dice, and she'll hope that she gets a 1 and a 1. But more often than that, it's like a 5 and a 5 or a 6 and a 6, something like that. So, it gets up pretty fast. So these males, there's no shortage of them. They take their turns, they hang out, they're smoking. It's all about power and dope with these guys. Power and dope. And so they're out there, doing whatever while one of them goes back in. Then when they go in, they yell some, whatever call they've decided to come up with, and then they'll open the door. The next guy will go in. They tag, and then they go in there. So one by one, they will do that. That's gang banging. Version 2 or meaning 2, lexicon, verbal slang 2 would be used to describe the activities, again, of the same group of young males. Yes. They put in work.
I'm sorry.
Put in work. It means gang banging, put in work. It's all sort of a web that describes committing crimes to further the gang's agenda, whatever it may be. Robbing, stealing, beating, stabbing, looting, jabbing, booting. There's a lot of stuff.
My goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness. Continue on. So the second definition of gangbanging. Oh,
yes.
This is just unbelievable stuff. A couple more questions. As far as more stuff I was listening to on the radio.
That's how a lot of people learn.
Yeah, it's
radio.
It's very.
John, yours and I's.
Living it hood.
Well, John,
hood.
first of all, you have to understand, living it hood is not a phrase that I personally have heard before.
Right.
Now,
it was somewhere.
One second. Let me finish.
Right.
As white males, you're Middle Eastern, obviously,
Yes.
but you're lighter than darker to most people.
Correct.
Okay. As males of a lighter persuasion, our exposure to rap or hip hop music at this point may be limited to hearing it at top volume from passing cars. So if you heard "Living It Hood," it could be something like "I'm so hood, we living good." Or,
I am so hood. I heard that's another.
I'm so hood. Well, actually, John, it's interesting. Back in the '90s, hood was used to describe a place, but now it's become a personality trait. Actually, hood is now a personality trait. It's no longer a place.
I am a hood, like I am a hoodlum?
No, that's the '80s. Now you're going back even farther. That's what white kids in the suburbs would call. They would call the hoods.
But so hood is then in turn makes it an adjective.
Yes, exactly. It's now a personality trait.
Interesting.
Interesting, isn't it? I know.
Interesting.
You know how, say in the '90s, access got verb. Access used to be a thing. You would gain access. But now you access your file. It got verb. That's the same thing with hood.
Oh my good. The way you put it in perspective, I'm starting to understand the streets. I think a little better.
Understanding the streets.
Understanding the streets as far as I've been pretty foreign to it. It's because mainly I did not maybe want to see, and now I'm starting to see a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I want to thank you for that. And again, we'll come back to this at our. Next episode, we're running out of time here. Thank you again, Dr. Jackson.
Yes, Jackson to the layperson, but if you're Scandinavian, you get a breakdown of Jan's son.
Okay. Dr. Jackson, his book's on the shelves right now. Go grab it, like they say, and it's going to be a good one. What do you call your book? Is it?
Well, my book has a few different names depending on where exactly you purchase it.
Okay. So you actually.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what do they look for? Just Dr. Jansen?
Yes, just look for Dr. Jansen.
The
I only
Hood
have
Doctor,
one book
is
out.
that what you call yourself?
Well, no, the Hood Doctor was actually a term described in the mid '80s. It was used to describe a person, usually of African American persuasion,
Okay.
who would go through his hood, because back then, of course, talking about hood as a place.
Correct.
And he would, if people were feeling stressed out, then he
Right.
would doctor them back to, the fuck it land of
Sure.
a blood. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that in the air. But yes, he would give them, or if someone like, remember our good buddy Fernando Ortiz? In Fernando's case, it would be a Chewy.
Sure.
Because he
Chewy,
needed
I've heard of that before. Is that
Yeah.
a mix of?
Chewy actually, Andre Nicotina was one of the first, although back then he was known as Dre Dog, actually. Andre is his first name. Dre is just a takeoff. He didn't want the
Dre.
the A-N.
Did he have rabies or something?
No,
Dog?
he didn't have rabies.
Dre
he was,
Dog?
Yeah, Dre Dog. He was originally...
That's another thing I hear a lot is dog. Is that a curse?
Well, first you have to figure out, not figure out.
And again, I know.
Well,
I'm sorry,
no,
I'm sorry,
it's-
Director. I
it's-
understand
it's
we're
okay.
running out of time here.
Yeah, no,
These
no,
are
no.
the important issues.
They're still back at the hotel. Okay, don't worry. I got them paid through the next couple hours.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, have a seat. Thank you. First of all, it's easier to know dog if you are seeing it written down somewhere. If it's two G's,
Sure.
then it means they're adding the extra G, meaning that they are a G, which.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
But the term dog, and I know it's being used around, and it's to the point of I call my friends, "Hey, what's up, dog?" once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
They make fun of me, and it's funny. We have fun. We have a couple of Amstel lights afterwards, but just basically.
Well,
wanted to know where it
Scholars
came
disagree. The historic scholars disagree on this.
Sure.
But there used to be a phrase repeated quite frequently called "What's up, Doc?" And then one day the guy was sick and he had something caught in his throat. And so instead of "What's up, Doc?" it was like, "That's a dog." So he kind of was short there. Someone took it. How these things happen.
Yeah, no, I
So
understand.
it just spread.
But
from there.
the word dog is that a word? So this is a. Something,
Some people take offense to it
Some
if they
people
don't
do.
know you, if they're not your familia or
okay.
familiar. If you're white,
Sure.
familia is a Mexican word, not slang. Actually, it's proper Spanish for family, as in those are the people you're familiar with. So if you're really friends with someone and you call them dog, then that's good. But
That's
sometimes people get sarcastic with it and they'll say, "Oh, okay, cat,"
Okay.
or "Okay, other random domesticated animal."
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Because I remember I called an Asian gentleman. I said, "What's up, dog?" And didn't know
Oh yeah,
if-
he thought that you were
didn't
calling
like
him food.
He said,
that
"I
was-
am not dog." And,
Yeah.
and
you can't go to cat there
He
because
punched
they
me in
do
the
that
face,
too.
and that's a different story.
No, we don't have